Yeah, good morning, by the way. Good morning to all the participants joining.
Yes, good morning. It's 9:30, and yes, I think we start with the session. My name is Ghoubali, and I'm responsible for Fortinet at BOLL. And today I'm pleased to present a session on FortiPhish and CTAP for email. Email is still one of the most used attack vectors, and from there it is important to know how our employees and colleagues handle email, so we know what risks we have. For this, Fortinet has a SaaS service, FortiPhish, to do some security awareness campaigns, and a cybersecurity assessment program, CTAP for email. And with you, or with me, and in this session is Philippe and Bachir from Fortinet, and I will hand over to you, Philippe.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe Bachir, I'll let you present first.
Yes, thanks. So I am Bachir, one of the consultant system engineer for email security. So that covers Fortimail and FortiPhish. Glad to be part of this presentation today. I'm always glad to work together with BOLL, definitely. So thanks.
Yeah, thanks very much, Rudy, for the invite, and thanks also, Bachir. So I'm Philippe Saint-Pierre. I'm the Cloud Business Development Manager for Switzerland within Fortinet, and I'm very pleased to present today first a quick overview of email CTAP, and then we'll talk about training on security awareness for end users, and we will talk about FortiPhish and how to create a FortiPhish campaign, and how you can use FortiPhish yourself and sell it. Yeah, so that is the objective. Can be a very interactive session. So if you have any question during the presentation, you can chat, and try to cover it best. And also, email CTAP is not really used heavily in Switzerland, so this is something we would like to promote. And I will try to explain a bit the value prop, how you can use it, and how you can sell it, or how you can use it with your customer. Yeah. Okay. So first, what is the approach here? So we have a CTAP program. It's called Cyber Threat Assessment, just for the ones who are not familiar with the acronym. And these help you as a partner to conduct a risk assessment for your customer. And that risk assessment is using our current platforms here, Fortimail. And it really helps you to talk to your prospect or existing customer on other Fortinet products to highlight, what is their risk exposure. And that is, obviously, you can do it on FortiGate. As you know, we have different CTAP programs. Next generation firewall and SD1 are the most known, I would guess, by you. We have now a new OT with Fortinac assessment, also service that you can leverage, which is quite important. And today we will focus on email security assessment or risk assessment. And we also have a sandbox. And as you know, a sandbox and email come together usually, so we can conduct both assessments. If you're interested into the sandbox CTAP, please contact me also. I can provide more information and guidance for it. So that is the different programs we have. And really, this is free to use. This is easy to implement. This is really something we encourage that you consider when you engage with customers or new customers. Now, looking into email CTAP, what we are trying and what you're trying to demonstrate to your customer is what is not filtered today by their current email solution. Yeah. And that is what we call the bad stuff. So that's the botnet malware, the malicious URL, the phishing attempt, all the spam also, which is polluting very much your end customer's mailbox. So when you run CTAP for email, how do you guess, how much is the percentage of assessment, CTAP assessment, where we find bad stuff? And despite the customer is using E3, E5, or despite the customer is using another email filtering solution. It's pretty high. We have experienced about 70% of the email CTAP assessment where we discover risks which were not managed so far by the customer security tools. So, the probability that you use CTAP to demonstrate the value of FortiMail is very high, and then you can use that as a selling point. Yeah. So I really encourage that you consider CTAP from that angle, and even if your customer is in the 30%, you have demonstrated the right approach, into this security assessment and consulting approach in the selling process. So, what is email CTAP? Email CTAP is a process. We just configure, our FortiMail back office tool to monitor the traffic for a given duration, being 1 week, 2 weeks, or more. And then we issue a report. It's called the Email Cyber Threat Assessment Report. And that is built of an executive summary, a summary of the main risks, and then some details out of it. Yeah. And we want to make sure you understand that this is really critical for your customer, because any risk which is listed into this report can result into a major impact for their business. Being a data breach is a huge cost impact, or being ransomware, obviously, as you may guess, is really high impact. So every single risk which will be detected here and reported will be something which is high criticity for your customer and really needs to be addressed, I would say. So what we have into this report is the first security assessment. So it's malicious URL, impersonation-based threats, any attachment-based attack in terms of files detected. Also a very important aspect, which is productivity, about spam. What are the newsletter, the spams, the unwanted mails in prorata? Who is receiving most of the spam? What is the spam to valid email ratio? So that is also quite key, because even if your customer have a good security so far, they may have a poor productivity based on spam, which is polluting their inbox. And then next one is utilization. A lot of customers are blind about what is the mail activity in their company. And that is also quite key, because they can realize that mail is more business critical than they think in terms of activity, volume, and size, and impact. Okay, so this is high level, the management summary you will see. And how do you configure FortiMail CTAP? Well, it's very simple. If your users are on Office 365, then they will configure BCC of their current email traffic to our platform, and that can be done really easily. And then you define the monitoring period. Usually it's 3 to 10-15 days maximum. Then we create the logs. The logs are used to generate the security report. And after the security report is generated, we delete the logs. So there is nothing left out of the CTAP process. So the high-level overview is you have, by the way, you can also generate a CTAP with your own logo, so that you as a partner are generating the CTAP. It's co-branded, it's Fortinet plus you as the leading partner. So that will appear into the cover page. Then you have this executive summary with the high-level overview I just discussed. And then you have the detail pages, which will go, and we will drill in a minute and demonstrate and show you what it contains. And that you have the spam, the newsletter, prorata, the per user view, the productivity aspects. It's all visual, graphic, and you can really also use that to engage into a management discussion with your customer. So it's not just low-level Excel reports, you also have the visual aspects, yeah? And then who are the top receivers, top senders of mails, and most important, what is the recommendation from you as a partner together with Fortinet to take steps to improve the protection of your emails as a company. That is where we will help you review these recommendations, understand this recommendation, pass the recommendations to your customer into a meaningful way, and make some proposals for addressing these recommendations next, yeah, into the sales cycle. So once you have generated the report, if you need to discuss the recommendation with Fortinet, please come to us, come to me, and we will assist you. So whenever you book the meeting to share and present to your customer, then you will be prepared and you have all the proposals at hand. Yeah, so that is quite key. So not only you can leverage the CTAP platform, but also you can leverage us as resources to help you interpret and present it further. So I will hand over to you, Bachir, because I can speak about it for hours, but it's always better to have something concrete. Yeah. So I will let you share, and let's go into what is into the report. So we go a bit concrete now, yeah? It's always nice to see the slides, but a real report. I think you're on mute, Bachir.
Sorry. Yes, indeed, I was on mute, so thank you for that. Let's indeed look into a report. You should see my screen right now, right?
Yep, all good.
So this assumes that you ran an assessment report and it just terminated. And at the end of the assessment report, we are going to generate a PDF file, which is a really handy one that can be delivered to decision makers, which will outline what was the performance, what were the findings of FortiMail on all the mails that it got through the BCC mode. So this is a sample one, but the one you will get and the one we see generating contains quite a lot of things that we find that other security measures or competitors don't find. So let's see and recap what we have inside. It starts with an overview of all the figures that we have cached that are gathered into 3 pillars. Those are, as Philippe said, the security part, most important, the productivity, showing everything that can be disruptive, and terminates with the utilization. So the utilization is mostly showing how is the mail flow, how is the volume of email. And that gives sometimes a good indication to decision makers that really they get quite a lot of volume of emails there. So let's see, the next part of the report focuses on those different pillars. So it starts with the security part, which has 2 sections. One is what we have identified as malware. So by identified means those are the known things. So we know that by FortiGuard, mainly by the antivirus essentially. And those, when the attachment came, when you analyze the email, we already know that, we knew that, right? The way we did the report is to focus on the top malware, the top things, so the top 8 known malware. If we want to get more bits and bytes, there is no problem. There is a FortiMail instance that any administrator, anybody generating the CTAP can reach and see and dig and out into the details. This is no problem. But really the idea of this report is to show there is a volume of things that are caught by the BCC mode. So known malware, what are the details, more information about those known malware, from where they are coming, what was the subject, how many of them we caught, right? And then still in the security layer, we also have the unknown malware. So those things that we don't already know because they are brand new, usually zero-day things, customized threats, and that it's essentially involving sandboxing. So we take the attachment, we take the URL, and we sandbox it into our data center. And again, top most important or the most seen at things in terms of hashes. We see that, for example, these hashes we saw it 5 times. So we scan, we sandbox both attachments, so malware, but also URLs to identify the suspicious URL. We also
I think Bachir, maybe something, it's a good point. Yeah, the CTAP, email CTAP is inclusive of FortiMail and FortiSandbox. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. It's the full package of measures for anti-spam, antivirus, so including the AV engine and the FortiSandbox. So okay, it's a full-featured FortiMail as if it was running on customer premises. So we get the mail, the original one, or a copy of the one. We analyze it as if it arrived into the customer premises. The only difference would be that the mail, we throw it away after we received it because we are in CTAP mode and we don't influence the flow of email. So the customer keeps its flow of email. It just creates a pipe, a copy pipe of emails towards the CTAP program. So all that is completely documented, and this is something we see quite handy, something that comes out of the box. You specify what you want to do, you run the CTAP, we even document how things should be done on the customer side, and then the processing is done during the period of time that is specified, and at the end, a notification is going to send this report, specifies saying that this is terminated and a report is ready out of the box. So this is really all meant to be really easy to use, right? So you don't need to configure the FortiMail. You don't need to do that. We have the right configuration, and again, you can have access to it. And this right configuration is really the one that is meant to be the most effective. Yeah, good. Really important. Yeah. So in security aspect, it finishes with an impersonation analysis, which requires, this is the only part which requires a customer configuration. It needs that the partner or the customer imports the display names that must be secured. Usually those are the VIP display names. And we will detect based on those display names that basically we are not aware, only the customer is aware. We are going to detect the impersonation, the email that are impersonating those display names. So here we have few impersonations coming from Gmail and another mailbox there. So few things were seen in impersonation. Then to productivity, we talk a lot about those threats, that can cause ransomware and so on. But email is also something that we use daily. And when we see things that like spams or newsletter, this is disruptive, right? So FortiMail has an engine that can detect the spams or different techniques to detect spam. And we are rating them using a top approach, right? So we see the top emails, but also we have an engine to detect the newsletters. So valid newsletters, right? So those newsletters that may come from, I don't know, things we all subscribed LinkedIn and on other media, and there we have an awareness that maybe the employees are subscribed to too many newsletter types, like in this particular case, edumarket.news, school, and so on, right? And that is really something that is actionable, where you can talk to the employee and say, look, this is too many, this is too much, right? And just to open a parenthesis on FortiMail, there is a way in FortiMail where you can take a specific action for any of those techniques that I just mentioned, sandbox and so on. And in the particular case of newsletter, you can decide, for example, just to tag the mail. And basically, this is what we do at Fortinet, which is secured by your FortiMail, of course, where all the newsletters we get are tagged with the subject with a big newsletter. Then I know when I look into my mailbox, I have that many newsletters. I'll not look at them right now. I will do that later on. So very effective way of detecting the valid newsletter, but also we have another engine that detects suspicious newsletters. That is part of the spam. Finally, the last pillar into this document, into this report, is the utilization. There, it's not big magic. We take the flow, we have the volume of email, we are going to show it into graphs, and we have seen that this is really handy to bring awareness on the volume, on the quantity of email that are coming into the organization that often the decision makers are not aware of, right? So we will see the volume to the volume and the spams, the ratio of spams that we got. And often, as Philippe said, the CTAP or CTAP action assessment is showing quite a significant number of things that FortiMail is capable of catching that others cannot see. So a lot of graph around utilization and those top senders who is sending the most and from where the most volume of email is coming in, from which mailboxes. And it ends with a recommendation section. So what did you do here? So at the end of the setup, we look into the FortiMail that has handled all those emails, and we are going to see what can be the good measures to be suggested to this customer, to this partner that ran the CTAP. So this is a sample of the subset of the type of recommendation we have, and it really varies depending on what we have seen. And so again, to summarize, very nice report, very nicely formatted to decision makers so that they can action a POC or, in the best case, of course, a purchase of FortiMail to enhance their security posture regarding email security.
Great, thank you, Bachir. I think it was a good illustration. Thanks a lot. And as you said, yeah, it's very simple to implement, very easy to look into. So I'm happy to go and help you deploy and propose to customer. So we've gone through this, yeah. So just again, as a recap, usually we recommend to do a minimum of 7 days of logs. Then you get the report ready, the logs are purged, and every information is deleted. As Bachir said, the emails are not kept, so there is no risk of data leakage. Usually you, when you want to configure, you just access the CTAP portal with your partner credential, you create the assessment, you obviously configure the email routing by the BCC, then you collect the log for a given period of time that includes FortiMail and sandboxing. Then you go back to the CTAP portal, you can generate the report yourself, and the report is then customized with your partner name, and then you will start review the findings and the recommendation with us or with yourselves and SE within Fortinet. Yeah, so it's very simple process, and we have put here the links on how to review more information about CTAP, get access to it, where are the videos, how you can do sales motion with CTAP, and how you can review the reports and stuff like that. So you have some additional material. So I will share that material so you can take it further. And you have obviously the CTAP portal where you can get the detail, get example of reports, and see how to use CTAP to generate new opportunities and prospect, yeah, into mail security. So this is, and last, which is also important, we could create a marketing campaign altogether about mail security and sandboxing, and also using CTAP. So we can also create a marketing campaign if that is of use. We can co-brand a joint marketing campaign, and we can use COP funding, by the way, from BOLL. So that is something I'm also very keen to help you with if relevant. Yeah, so don't hesitate to raise your hand. and we can co-brand everything with your company, and that is very simple. Yeah. Okay, so that was the first part. That's about CTAP. So I don't know if there is any question already before we go into FortiPhish and security training. So don't hesitate to put your question into the Q&A, and then we go into the next agenda item.
Yes, we have a question, Philippe. And the question is, how do you see the legal perspective? Does sending emails to a third party unbeknown to a sender engage privacy laws?
Yeah, that is obviously the key the key challenge. Yeah, to be very transparent. I think it's a very good point, and we need to explain to the customer that obviously that data is encrypted. There is no mail kept, and the logs are deleted after the report completion. So, but clearly, obviously, for very regulated industry like finance or healthcare, you're correct. That could not meet the compliance requirements. So we have a clear limitation from the Swiss aspects. So that is something to account for. Yeah, absolutely. That is what it is. So we are getting, obviously, we are storing the log for the duration of the report. Yeah, that is the point. So that is something to be discussed very transparently with your customer. And some customers will clearly not agree with this, and we understand that pretty well. Yeah, that is a good point. I don't know, Bachir, if you want to add to this.
Oh, you said it all, actually. Yes, we define the perimeter. We are really transparent, and it's up to the customer to decide. Yeah.
But there's a lot of value, and we guarantee the data safety, and we guarantee it's deleted. So in a way, there is also some clear rules. Yeah. But that's a good point. I mean, we should not discuss that with highly regulated customers. That is a fact. Yes, I agree. And
CTAP can be run in Europe, so we have data centers there, and that's something that can add to the privacy. Yeah, it's obviously GDPR compliant, so that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. Good point. Yeah, thank you, Bachir. It was a good question. Any other question before we go to FortiPhish and training?
No.
Okay, great. So let's go to the second part of the agenda. This is something which is not well known, I would guess, also, same as CTAP. So I wanted to spend a bit of time to present. We have introduced about 1 year ago FortiPhish and security training. What it is, we realize and we understand that most of the issues on risk, on security management is coming from the end user, by their response to a phishing attempt, or themselves, putting the company at risk by not protecting their asset, or logging from a wrong place, or taking physical risks. So this is really, in fact, about awareness training, and that is quite low by our experience. So we have created this Fortinet security awareness training, which, by the way, is leveraging NSE material, but it's going beyond, and that is sold. So you can sell to your customer security awareness training, and that is obviously against your partner logo. Again, you can brand it. So what we do is we have created a lot of trainings that are for external companies, and then we have a management portal to publish the trainings, by the way, dependent on the FortiPhish campaign that we will cover in a minute, because both products are interconnected. So we can conduct a FortiPhish campaign based on email reaction to the end user. Then we can customize the training campaign and publish the training campaign to some selected user, for example. So this is what can be done. And we have fed, obviously, this training from the NSC material. We have customized it. We have created this administration platform. And also we are using the FortiGuard lab as a key contributor to the material and to the in-depth content. And then we can customize it also with your own brand. So training is quite key. Yeah, it's really something that you can propose every time to any customer. It's a very low cost. It's a very interesting value proposal, key differentiator for you to help them increase their security. And it's very simple for you as a partner to create a campaign or for their administrator to create a training campaign. You have this portal for administrator. You can select the course, you can select the target user, you can push this proposed trainings to your user, and then you can monitor, how the user are progressing through the training. You can obviously have some detailed report, management report. You can drill to individuals, and you can also obviously push additional training or extend the training or remind people about the training dependent on the results. So the next thing is integrated with FortiPhish. So you can have, as I said, a joint campaign where you first do a FortiPhish, then based on the user who are opening the risky mails, then you can customize the campaign also by user profile, user teams, user groups, or even push it in a wider audience. And then you get the results also from the phishing campaign to the training, yeah? And you can combine the scorecard. So in terms of licensing, so you can propose for free up to 25 users. So it's a good way to engage with customer and tell them, we have this great training platform. It's for free if you want to use it for 25 users. And you have access to already quite a good material. And if you're interested, then it's simple to extend. Yeah, you just buy the premium license. Yeah. Or the standard license for more than 25 users. So I would say it should be discussed with any customer at any time, because that's a no-brainer. It's just a SaaS platform, which is really valuable and creates a lot of, I would say, opportunities for the customer to learn and grow into the security area. Okay. So this is the first part I wanted to share with you, because I'm not sure you're aware of this capability. And this is obviously a very easy sell, I would say. The next is about FortiPhish. Yeah, FortiPhish is something quite critical, because back to email security, phishing and ransomware is very much the risk number one. And your customer need to understand how their users are behaving, reacting to this type of mails, and how to improve their reaction is critical to your company security, to your customer company security. So FortiPhish is really doing that. It's a simulation. It's testing user reaction to phishing mails. Then you have obviously a management platform to.
Sorry, Philippe.
Yeah.
We have a comment that we don't see your slides.
We don't see the slides. Ooh.
No. So actually.
Let me stop sharing and share again. Thanks for the comment, because that's annoying. Obviously, let me do that. Do you see it now?
No. Yes.
Okay. Nobody saw the slide on training. Yeah, is that the case?
I think so. Yes, I was not paying attention because I have many screens.
Okay. Sorry. So let me do quickly the training slides. So I was just going to show the campaign builder for creating a new training. So that's the admin page. Then you have the dashboard where you can see the training results, and you can push user community to create to attend additional training or the trainings reminder. So that is, and then you have this integration with FortiPhish where you can create the FortiPhish email campaign and then branch into the training associated with that results. Yeah. So we have this licensing aspects also about the free license for standard trainings up to 25 users and additional modules for premium, which is price per user. So it's quite a lot of modules as you see here. Yeah. So it's important you have a quick view on this. And again, if you want to sell the training, the training awareness training, happy to assist. It's very simple. It's a SaaS, and it's really convenient for your customer. Okay, so now back to FortiPhish. So I was saying FortiPhish is really critical, and it's really I would say required. I mean, you have as a CISO, you have to educate your user and protect your company. There's no way around. Your customer has to look into that, and they may decide it's priority 2 or 3, but they have to have that into their roadmap. That is quite critical nowadays. Yeah, improve the end user reaction to phishing and spam is absolutely a must. And FortiPhish is just doing that. It's just creating a phishing campaign. Yeah. So you just if I go quickly to the blah blah, you select the attack type, you select your targets into your company by business unit, by domains, AD groups, whatever. And then you schedule the attack by mail, and you just analyze the results after a period of time. And then you can address the issues with the selected user or with the entire community by the training campaign, which we have just seen before. Yeah. So this is the circle is complete, and then you, based on the training, you can start a new FortiPhish campaign and see how you have improved, and this is quite key. So so this is more or less the point I was making. So how you select a template? So you have a lot of predefined templates based on social media, based on different potential source email companies. And then you can also create, adapt the predefined email template from a given source and create a custom template if you want to test something particular within your company. You create a campaign, so you select the templates that you have into the library, or you create a new template. You can use, as I said, most of the potential frequent source like Facebook or Amazon or different language. And then you will define the level of difficulty of that phishing mail. Yeah, you can create an easy phishing mail with a lot of mistakes and a wrong email address as a destination or as a link. You can make it easy, you can make it medium, or you can make it complex. And complex is there is no error. It looks real. And the email is also close to the real one, yeah, when you click on it. So you will have different level of difficulties, so you can assess your user into a gradual campaign approach, which is quite important. And then you schedule the campaign and you just launch it, yeah. I mean, it's all about the end user will get the phishing mail. Then eventually they will click on the link or open the attachment or not. Or report this as, by the way, phishing mail. And then when they click on the link, obviously you can also get visibility of the actions taken by your user, yeah, into the company. So if they went up to the point where they disclose their personal information, then you would have obviously that visibility. Then you have the reports. You can do a proper analysis of what happened, understand the percentage, have a macro and a micro view, and then you can understand what type of actions you should take. We will go in a demo in a minute, but just maybe let's go in a demo and then we go back to licensing. Yeah, it's maybe better. So I will stop sharing and then I'll let you quickly demo Bachir. Yeah.
Yes, with pleasure. So what is it telling me? You cannot start share while.
Yeah, I have to stop. So now it's your turn.
Good. I choose this screen. Now you should see my screen.
Yeah, all
Great.
good.
So let's start the journey within this really exciting product that we have, which is the FortiPhish. So it all starts by going into fortifish.com, but it can also be reachable through the Forti Cloud. So let me remove this, right? I will connect, and I have received some, or I have purchased the right to address 50 mailboxes. So it comes and I'm directly brought to the dashboard. So if you were in Forti Cloud directly from another application, you would find the FortiPhish as an official product within the different SaaS services that we have today, just below the FortiMail, right? So you can access it from anywhere. So the dashboard itself is giving a high-level view, a high-level idea of the phishing situation within the organization. So me, as the CISO, as the admin, have an idea of what's going on through this view. I can see that I have two phishing sessions. One which I called Amazon, it's based on an Amazon template. Another one which is based on a Facebook template, and I can immediately see there how is the catch rate. So I am addressing 6 users for the Amazon, and I see that the catch rate is really is not good at all. And so that there need to be some education there around those users. And for the Facebook one, which I just started, I can see that already somebody clicked and even went into. You can see that clicked. 4 opened the mail, the phishing mail, and 1 clicked on the link, but the session just started. Whereas the other one, which I just finished, we have one which reported the email. We have at least 1 good user among this panel of users.
It is not huge, huh, Bachir? Huh? 1 out of...
No, it's not huge. That's the whole point, actually. The whole point of the platform is to increase the awareness so that everybody becomes really trained on tracking the mails, right? This is,
and just by the way, a quick anecdote. Yeah, every employee joining Fortinet gets receive all this phishing, and I received the first email I got was from our CEO that I was offered the welcome pack of crypto money, and I can tell you, when you're just first day into the company, it looks great. You get given by the CEO some crypto money, and let's click on the link. Yeah, so that is really really interesting to promote this phishing campaign to your customer. I can tell you, because they can be quite surprised. Yeah.
So you have visibility on the campaigns, and you can see how people are enhancing. So me as the CISO, I can see that based on all the work I did on educating my users, the click to open rate is really high. This is not so good. So there's work left. But in terms of awareness, I'm not too bad. I mean, my admin is not too bad, because the last campaign he ran was a day ago, so yesterday. So he's doing an excellent job in working, in training the users. But still, the user quote 20% is not really good. So we have high-level information. And if we want to get more details on the campaigns, on the more figures, you go into the monitoring pane and you see more numbers. I'm not going into detail, but I think they are self-explanatory, from which operating system, which devices, which type of browser, and depending on the different campaign that I run, what is the outcome of it, or what is the current outcome.
I think there's a really good question here, is how is the end user able to detect and report a phishing attempt or a spam? Is there any way to report? I think into the mail, there is a button. Is that correct?
We will see with a real user, or I would say a simulated user within the mailboxes, how he can report and how he perceives the phish attempt there. But I can tell you upfront, we have there's a plugin basically that can be loaded right from here. So you go in the administration pane and you can define and configure the phish alert button. So we support Thunderbird, but also PAB for Microsoft 365. So really handy to deploy the plugin to all the users without asking them to do it into their client or the web interface.
Right.
This is
Okay,
really handy. This is really excellent. So I have my sessions, they are ongoing, but the platform, of course, allows you also to create brand new campaigns. And to create new campaigns, you would need to provide the platform with two information. One is who, and one is what are the domains you want to address. So let's start with domains. It's quite easy. You go in here, you specify the domains you want to address. I have a different domain, fmltest.ch, fmltest.xyz, and you have to prove ownership on the domain, right? And the way to prove it is to put on a DNS record the token that is provided here. So really easy. You go where you registered the domain, you put it there, and you ask, then you come back to FortiPhish and you say, can you verify that this is okay? It will check the DNS and it tells this is good, this is verified, and now we can run campaign on those domains. Because of course we want to prevent anybody to use the FortiPhish as a source of spams. The second part is the recipient. So we have the domain, and now we need to specify who is going to be addressed. And we do that by offering the ability to create group of users. Let me take, for example, my team. So this is my team, my virtual team in my virtual company, where I have Samantha, who is a trainee. I have Bob, Alice, and they all work in different departments, right? So they are all there. So I can bring new one by clicking on add. And if I had too many employees, then it's not manageable. That's why we bring the ability to import by a bulk way. So you have a CSV format, you bring in the template, sorry, you have the template, which you can feed with the users, and you can import by clicking on there. Another way is by using LDAP, and the LDAP profile, you find it here. So you just create here a brand new LDAP profile, nothing special, base DN and so on. So the well-known parameters for connecting into LDAP, Active Directory, and we can then import those users from those LDAP profile within any new group or existing group that is defined here. So now we know we have the domains, we have the users, the targets, we have the group of targets, and we are ready to generate the campaigns. So let's go into the campaign folder where we find the two campaigns that we have seen in dashboard, and we can create brand new one. So let's create a campaign. How is that working? It's meant to be straightforward. It's wizard-based. It starts by the selection of the template. Then you select the sender, the target, the schedule. So you may want to run the campaign at a deferred time. And finally, you just start and launch the campaign once you have defined everything. So let's do the test. We have here an Amazon campaign. So let's just take it. It's fine, Amazon. And you have to make some decisions, right? So how do you want the click behavior to behave? Which means that the fish will come with some links. Do you want those links to bring the user directly to FortiPhish? Or do you want him to, or do you want to push him to provide his credential, right? So that's the page you would see if he clicked on the link from the template we just select, right? You would see really a copy of the login page from Amazon, and everything can be customized. So I decide to accept a landing page, the one that I just shown, but I could also customize it, right? By having done that work before in the customization section. I'll take the default one. I'm really happy with it. Level of difficulty. So the level of difficulty defines the indicators that people are supposed to know when they look into an email, like looking into a link before clicking, seeing too many mistakes, typos into the email, and so on. And we have, for those known campaign or default campaign we have, there are different level of difficulties. As a brand new CISO, I would say I will start with a simple campaign, and I will train more and more my users and will bring them as they progress to moderate, and challenging level, right? So I know my users are really well trained. I think I'm trained them well because I brought them to a training, and I will run a challenging session. Finally, do you want an attachment to make it more real? And this is a template that, of course, you can modify. You can add some typo, change the links, and so on. I will take the default one, go to the next. This campaign, I will call it Amazon. And this is an Amazon campaign. I could call it differently. My recipients, I will here want to address my team and also 2 new employees that just onboarded in the company. I want to see how they behave on this company, on this campaign. Go to the next. I'm happy with the selection. And when do you want the campaign to start? Right now, in which case we will take all the mail, queue them, the phishing mail, and fire them, depending on the availability of our system. So they will be thrown away almost immediately if we have the capacity for that, or scheduled, because you want the campaign to start, let's say, next Monday, when the employees come in the office, they are fresh out of the weekend, and you want to test their response time after having rested in the mountains, most probably. So let's say I want to start it immediately, and I want this campaign to last 1 week, which means that during 1 week, so the email will be sent almost immediately, and during 1 week, we will see how people are behaving. Maybe they are back from holidays, and we give them a chance to react to the mail, right? And I will take 1 week. This is the default. Next, and we are almost there. So almost in the time where we will fire the campaign. There, the last step offers the possibility to generate a test email. Usually you do that once to verify that the test email is going to reach a probe email or your own email as an administrator, right, of the messaging system. Then you verify that you have created the pipe or the rule you created to all those phishing mail is fine and is not caught by potentially a Fortinet or any other solution that will block those phishing email, because they are phishing email at the end of the day, and they need to have some special allowance, and this is described here. So you need to allow smtp.fortifish.com to take those emails. Don't apply anything, let them go into the mailboxes. So no, I don't want, because I'm good with that. So I run the phishing, and now my campaign starts, the Amazon campaign, and I will find it into the dashboard, and it is at the moment doing at 0 because the email are slowly being fired to my customers. So now it's done. So we just we launched the traps, and now let's start phishing. I will bring you a mailbox of one of my target, Leonidas. So it's one of my team, my virtual team, my virtual company, and it just got the phishing email from the Facebook campaign. Remember the Facebook campaign that I just had before? It's here. So this is what you would see. This is a Facebook account, and we know that many people are using their corporate account to do private stuff. We know that it's in the news, and this is not something uncommon, right? So what potentially Leonidas is going to do, show the remote content of this page, which triggers already something on FortiPhish side, which is the load of the page. So the numbers here are increasing, the opened is increasing, but this is not the worst. What Leonidas is going to do is to trust that somebody took his Facebook account, which maybe can be, I mean, probably not used for private usage. It can be something corporate, because the organization is using Facebook to advertise things. So it's going to go to the secure page. It doesn't look on the top, you know. Leonidas is new. It doesn't figure out this is routing him to FortiPhish, but looking at the page, this is something he knows. So it's going to put anything. This is the corporate, the password is going to log in, and the logging in brings him this time to the FortiPhish, to the real Facebook. So he will believe that he did something wrong in the password, he bring it again, and then he will reach his account. But on the FortiPhish side, if we look into the monitoring pane, we will see that one user submitted, right? Submitted credential. This is really bad. And this user, we will find him into the detail of the campaign here, where you will find everything related to the campaign, when it started, when we finished launching the mail, what is the template, some numbers, who submitted, we have one, and what's the detail of that. So this is my user, Leonidas. I have to talk with him from my my target group, and he submitted credential, and he connected from basically from Switzerland. So I need to take him into a training, and
yes.
if yeah.
And then this is where we branch to the training portal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And just to answer the question about the report of the fish, we have, where is my client? Yeah, here it is. You see, if he was really well trained, he would see that, and he would just click on the, not click on the link, you should not, but he would see that this link is bringing him, so I'll just stand over here, but on the bottom you would see that it's a FortiPhish link, so you should take this mail, report it. This is how it would look like. And then it just submit from here, send the mail to FortiPhish-Portal. This is more
and this is quite interesting, because within Fortinet we get about, in average, 1 phishing mail per week, and and that is I think after a while, yeah, you can really improve the user behavior, and that is really, you see the trend over time, yeah, and the number of reports it can be tracked, and it's really improving over time. So this is really interesting, yeah.
Yes, and we see here that somebody reported, and we would see that it did a good work in reporting, but still it clicked. So it's mitigated, I would say, thing. And as you said, then starting here, we will bring people into trainings and increase them. And this is a never-ending process. So as you said, in Fortinet, we have from time to time phishing emails, and we are not supposed to click on the link.
There was a quick question, Bachir, about can we report the user clicking on attachments? Or can we test user clicking on that attachment? Yeah,
that's a good question. And the attachment, so now we can attach docs, as I just shown before in the creation of the campaign. And I think until I test it, this is support. And that's why we have the ability, when we create a campaign, to attach a document. And I must say, I didn't test it yet. So yes, you can attach a file. So there will be a PDF attached. And I trust this works. I must test it, but this is meant to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, on the paper we can do it. You can send an attachment. You can track the users who clicked on it, and that is also quite. I mean, into the advanced. Yeah, if you go into challenging, this is a really good opportunity. Great. I will present 2 minutes the licensing. If you stop sharing, Bachir, then let me do that. I think it was a really good demo, so thanks a lot. Very quickly, the FortiPhish is you have different licensing. It's for free if you use free email per month. So again, same as the training, 25 free licenses. CTAP is for free. Phishing is for free for 3 mails per month. We really highly encourage that you use these free tools to promote your customer education, reactions to risks and threats and spam and everything. It's for free to get started, yeah. So it's really something they can experience. And then you start purchasing FortiCloud Premium, FortiPhish Premium with 30 users per month, and it goes above with a per user subscription. Yeah. So this is the licensing mode. And you see you have this LDAP integration as Bachir was showing. You have the integration with the training campaign, which is also quite important. Yeah. And then you have the SKU, obviously, for ordering, obviously, football. Here just for your information, and you can have stackable pack of licenses, 25, 500, 10,000 if you have a great large opportunity. Okay, so that's all we wanted to share for today. It was a bit of a rich topic. I guess a lot of items are new to you. So again, don't hesitate to ping, ask for support, get demo, whatever you want. We are happy to assist, and we have quite a team now, a large team into Switzerland to support with pleasure. Back to you, Rudy. Thanks again for all your participation.
Okay, thank you, Philippe, and thank you, Bachir, for the interesting sessions about FortiPhish and CTAP for email. Yes, if you have any further questions or need support for CTAP or FortiPhish, please feel free to contact us. I think we have a good solution and tools to support your customers to secure their email usage and get an overview how email is used in the company and to train the users how to use email and when it is safe to click on a link.
And the last point, we have a very important session on email protection on April 7. Yeah, it's really the next step, I would say.
Yeah, that's right. So I look, there are no more questions. So I think we are closing the session now, and the presentation and session recordings will be shared with you afterwards. And yeah, I thank you for attending the session, and I wish you a pleasant day.
Thanks.
So,
Bye,
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.